Ayy, give me the chip, I need the championship. Wait, we got a dream, next to the team, yeah, we can handle it. Wait, soon as I go and I step in arenas, they call me the champ. They know what it is, know what I do, know who I am, who don't understand. Yeah, that's overdue. My trophy, say that's overdue. My ring, finna be immortalized. Yeah, they know it's true.
Hey there, folks. How y'all doing? Chris Harris here. Another episode of Busby Sports Podcast. This is our morning after live recap show for week 2. As you can see, joining me back again, got Anthony Berry down there from Marlboro County, South Carolina. Um, Wake up, y'all! Get your coffee, get you a donut or something. We're gonna go ahead and run through these another great night of action. Week 2 games. Anthony, man, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good to have. It's good to have you back, man. Good to have you back. And
Yes, sir.
I know you got a lot to talk about.
Yep.
Pretty competitive game down there at against
Mm.
rival Chihuahua last night. So we'll go ahead and hop into it, man. For everyone listening in, as always, feel free to comment, ask questions. Like I said, this while we do the live shows, we like to engage with the audience. And I know people got a lot to say after another great night of football action. So we'll go ahead and dive into it. I'll go ahead and run through my scoreboard real quick. First off, starting with the games of the week. Our games of the week: Pender County taking on Red Springs, where Pender County was able to come out on top, 36-28. And also our other game of the week, a big time rivalry game in the state of North Carolina. Richmond County coming away with a 36-21 victory over Scotland County. Then just running through the scoreboard real quick. Kinston defeated Wallace 26-24. East Duplin defeated Princeton 42-20. St. Paul's defeated Lumberton 35-0. D.H. Conley knocked off Northeastern 34-19. East Bladen shut out West Bladen 26-0 to win their victory bell. West Brunswick knocked off Wattville 38-21. Eastern Wayne knocked off CB Aycock 18-3. Trash shut out East Columbus 37-0. Midway defeated Clinton 55-39. 71st defeating Cape Fear 22-8. South Granville knocking off Vance County 33-6. Southeast Raleigh beating Dudley 31-6. Hoggard and Jack Britt going back and forth. Hoggard coming away with the 44-41 victory. Marlboro County defeating Chihuahua 27-20. And Warren County defeating Jeff Webb 54-24. Lakewood shutting out Lejeune 40-0. And then, of course, Thursday night we had a couple games. Thursday night, Triton defeated Hopton 35-21. And North Duplin defeated Rosewood 39-19. So just like I said, another great week. A lot of couple surprises on the list. I'll get to it. Get to it when as I run down the. But just starting with the games of the week, Pender County. I was watching the Pender County Red Springs game on online, and looked like at first looked like Pender was going to blow the doors off Red Springs for a second there. They were
Mhm.
leading 30-14. Um, there for most of the game, really controlled the ground game. Really strong ground game for Pender. If anybody had any questions about what Pender County was going to look like after life without Jeremiah Johnson, the big time running back they had the last couple of years, Pender County is going to be just fine. They still got a very strong running attack, very impressive set of running backs and quarterback that could move the ball on the ground. Offensive line very aggressive, very disciplined. Did a good job. But once again, man, for the second week in a row, Red Springs almost came from behind and did what they did last week, man. So coming up just short, scored. Came, like I said, fought back down 30-14. Came back, scored twice in the fourth quarter to just failed on a 2-point conversion there at the end. Um, got it down to a one score game, and then Pender County scored that one
Mhm.
last touchdown to pretty much shut it out. But hey, shout out to Red Springs, man. If anything, that is an extremely resilient football team. Um, yeah, that's a team that you could be up for a couple scores, and they're never dead. So I mean, just um, a great group of athletes. Very quarterback did a great job. Of course, like I said, just a talented group of wide receivers making plays. So they're a team that you could never really count out, but just falling just short to a pretty solid Pender County team there. And my other game of the week, Richmond County, Scotland County. Like I said, that game carries
Mhm.
a lot of weight. Big time rivalry game, a lot of energy, and that's what it kind of played out early in the game. Richmond County was able to pull away though with and there's two incidents of this happening in separate games, and I'll get to the other one. But in this Richmond County, the biggest difference was Richmond scoring 15 points in a matter of 10 to 15 seconds. I want to say they said
Mhm.
got a scored on a touchdown pass, and then on the ensuing possessions, I guess Scotland County's first play, pick six, right there
Mhm.
before, right there, so that pretty much broke that game open because they were pretty much they were, I think it was a 14-14 tie at one point, and that kind of pretty much broke the game open, and
Mhm.
County was able to control the game from there. So Richmond wins their third straight over Scotland County. I'll get into the players of the game a little bit later on this week. I still want to go back and look at some of the game tape and check out some of the stats once the stats are posted, and I'll get y'all my players of the game for both of those games. But real quick, there was a barn burner down there in South Carolina, and I know Anthony's chopping at the bits to he's chopping at the bits to talk about it. I mean, I know a lot of Marlboro County fans were, including yourself, were calling for a blowout last night, but it turned out to be a little bit closer. It looked like it was headed that way for a second. I think Marlboro was
Mhm.
was leading 20-3 at one point. But I
Yeah.
know Anthony, I know you got a lot to say about that one. So why don't you go ahead and give us your take on that game?
Well, I'm telling you this. I was there last night and I watched this game, and I it should have been worse than it was, but the zebras had a say so in the game. So I mean, there was you talking about some turning a blind eye. There was a lot going on there last night. I mean, and don't get me wrong, Sherrall's good, but we should have blew them out. But the zebras, trying to keep my composure, but they I mean they missed blocking the backs on the punt return that they scored a touchdown on, and I mean it's like Sherrall could just rough us up and they wouldn't do nothing. Like they missed the face mask on Troy Haley. I mean, Troy got shaken up last night. I think one of the offensive linemen broke his finger in the game, and Trey got beat up a little bit last night. I mean, but I mean, it's like it you know.
I understand. I understand.
It shouldn't have been, 27-20. It should have been 27 to none. It's like every time we would get momentum, it's like bloop flag, and then
So
and
so
it,
so some home,
it-
a lot of home cooking, a lot of
yeah, a
home
lot of
cooking.
home cooking out there in Sherrall. I mean, and you could tell too, 'cause, like when I walked into the stadium and like it they don't like Marlboro. They do not like Marlboro after last year. I mean, I think the whole league doesn't like Marlboro after last year. But you're gonna see that we're gonna see that a lot this year. But that was probably the worst I've seen in a while. I mean, we had 96 yards and penalties compared to their 20.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so we had over 350 yards total offense to their 120, and 96 of them was penalties. So that's how they got them yards and all that. But I mean, Nick Gordon for them is pretty good. He's gonna be somebody to look forward to at Sherrall, but I mean, they missed a bunch of calls, and I mean, Coach Corey. I think Coach Corey got you see him on the sideline. I'm like, I don't know how he keeping his composure during this game. I mean, but
Uh, yeah, I know it's always frustrating as a as a fan, even as a player and coach, to have to deal with
yeah,
what seems like one sided officiating.
mm-hmm,
That's just one of those things that this we got to deal with from time to time, and you kind of got to adjust to how the officials are calling. If they're calling it tight, kind of got to make the adjustment, and vice versa. Like I said, it's tough,
mm-hmm.
and sometimes you just got to sometimes you just got to expect, especially going into
Yeah,
hostile territory like that. There's going to be some there's going to be some home cooking, so you kind of
yeah.
got to be prepared for it. But as far as your observation goes, any other? Because I was able to look at a little bit of it. I know Justin Purvis' dad was going live on Facebook and kind of giving his commentary, and actually I really enjoyed that. So shout out to him. He's a really he's a
Yeah,
colorful guy, man. He
yeah.
was giving he was dropping some pearls of wisdom at the same time.
I'm gonna say this. Our defensive line, especially Caden and Jaden and PJ and what's number 21, Jamaica McCoy. The linebackers, they gave that quarterback all night a lot to handle. I mean, they were in the backfield like it wasn't nothing.
Hmm.
And I mean, I think we sacked them one time for a 10-yard loss. I think Jaden almost had a pick six. He dropped it, which boy, he dropped it, and I was like, God, man. But you could tell he was like, it would have been gone. And number 21 too dropped one too. He'd have been gone too. So I mean, defensively we good. We got a couple stuff on offense we need to adjust with the pass blocking and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Coach, Coach Ryan Hunt's gonna get him. He's gonna
Oh
fix it
yeah.
up this week because we play Gray Collegiate coming up, and they're that charter school out of Columbia. So, about them charter schools, they like to recruit people. So we're gonna get
Okay.
tested. We're gonna get tested Friday. So,
Oh,
but
okay.
as far as I know, is Troy Haley. I think he's gonna have an X-ray done this week. Um, but that's about it. I mean,
Okay.
the offensive lineman broke his finger, but like I said, tape it up. But
Well,
but my opinion is we look good. It should have been worse than it was, but a win's a win. So
yes sir. Yes sir. Hey, look, like I always say, man, old coach statement, man. I'd rather have an ugly win than a pretty loss. So
mhm,
it's a W. So
no.
so
But
Marbo.
you could tell Coach Corey, like, one of our players was trying to badmouth the other team, and Coach Corey called a timeout and said, "No, we don't do that. We don't do that here." He kind of nipped that in the bud off the stat. I mean, the other team was jawing off at the ref, and I'm sitting there like, I mean, you ain't gonna throw a flag on that because you can't draw off the ref like that, you know. But like I said, turn a blind eye.
Marlboro County starts off the season 2-0, and
Hmm.
big time matchup against Great Collegiate Academy next week, and definitely be looking forward to
Hmm.
checking that one out. Should be a lot of talent on the field for both sides, and hopefully the guys that are banged up, it's
Yeah.
not too bad, and
Hmm.
you get have a great week of practice, and get ready to do it again Friday night. But
I think
appreciate
the
you.
I think the next we got this one, Myrtle Beach, Conway. That's the next 3 games at home. So we're at
Okay,
home 3 games in a row. So
okay, that's hey, love that. So you
yeah,
ain't got look. Maybe the
yeah.
home cooking goes the other way. This.
I don't know about
So,
that now.
but look, it's one thing. If it's one thing I know about, Corey Johnson and Ryan Hunt and Dennis and all
Hmm.
those guys y'all got on staff, man. The kids are gonna be prepared, and
Yeah,
they're gonna make adjustments, and even if you got some guys that are banged up and not ready to go, they're gonna have that next guy ready to go. So
Yeah.
You guys, like I said, I could speak from experience. I know how the the difference between year one and year two with Coach Johnson. So Marlboro's in good hands, man. Like I said, I'm
Mhm.
looking forward to y'all gonna have a fantastic season, man.
Yeah.
No kids just gonna keep on getting better and better week by week.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is week 2, man. This we're
Yeah.
still just scrap the
Hmm.
surface, So uh,
Yeah.
like I said, we got some Marlboro County fans in the chat. I see there. Let me see. We got said Mike Littles. He said yeah, he knew that their best three was going to give it their all. He said Mr. Dumbfound. Well, excuse me if I pronounce your last name wrong because I'm horrible with pronunciation. But he says got to bring it next week. Of course, our good friend Charles Williams from St. Paul's is here. St. Paul's 1350. Yes, sir. We'll get to that one. But appreciate everyone's comments. Any other comments in the chat for the Marlboro County Chihuahua rivalry game that Marlboro County won 27-20.
Mm.
Cool, cool. If you ain't got any more comments, hey, Anthony, man, you're welcome to stay on with us if you want to keep on talking football, or if you got to cut out, go ahead and cut out, man. I'm gonna keep on running through these games.
Yeah, I'm gonna sign off and I'll see y'all Wednesday.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
All right, love y'all, man.
Yeah. All right. So once again, man, appreciate Anthony for coming on and giving us his take on the Marlboro County game. Back to the chat. Kerry Holly says, "Go Midway." Yes, ma'am. Good win for Midway last night. Big win for Midway last night. Off the deal, one Pender. Yes, sir. Yeah, y'all. Yeah, like I said, I spoke on Pender a little bit right there at the beginning, and like I said, if there was any questions about Pender's identity post Jeremiah Johnson, they look pretty solid right now. They're good to go, especially in the rushing department. Man, they're hitting you for different a lot of different ways. So was pretty impressed with what that was really my first time getting to watch Pender last night for a full game. So I was pretty impressed with what I saw. Uh, Real quick, continue to go on through some of these games. Looking at that Kinston Wallace Rose Hill score, looked like Wallace showed up a little bit last night. If I got any Bulldog fans listening, like y'all had a though, yeah, yes, they lost the game, but from what I saw from some of the highlights, excuse me, from what I saw from some of the highlights, looked like a much more competitive game for Wallace from like I said, a team that a lot of people in the area were really excited about as far as Kinston goes. A lot of firepower on that Kinston team. But gotta say, I guess an impressive showing for the Bulldogs. So maybe they're starting to work those kinks out. Like I said, I wasn't able to watch the game, just more highlights. So if any Wallace fans or any Kinston fans have any observations on that game, please feel free to talk about it in the chat. Let us know what y'all thought. But yeah, like I said, looks like a much better effort from Wallace last night. Yeah, they're 0-2, but like I said, it's like it's heading in the right direction. Moving on, St. Paul's defeat, shutting out Lumberton. I know Mr. Charles Williams was in the chat. So like I say, St. Paul's is doing what St. Paul's do. This is if you picked against them last night, I don't know what team you've been watching, man. But that's a game I fully expected to win. But got to embrace the that Robeson County football, man. I like to see the inter county teams going at each other. But yeah, St. Paul's is doing what St. Paul's does. I think they got another inter county game next week. I think it's St. Paul. St. Paul's and Red Springs are playing next week, if I'm not mistaken. I have to look at my sheet. But yeah, shout out to Charles Williams, shout out to St. Paul's, another W. Moving on down the list, that DH Conley Northeastern game. Like I said, got to shout out to Northeastern for playing up as far as competition goes, as far as school size, being 3A. taking on a pretty solid 7A program there in D.H. Conley. Looked like Northeastern was in control earlier from what I was getting some of the score updates. It looked like D.H. Conley kind of took control, and I know one of the guys from Northeastern was saying they're having some issues with the O line. The quarterback's good, but just too much pressure. And you gotta protect the quarterback, man. Doesn't matter how good the quarterback is if he ain't don't have any pressure. Real quick comment. Pino said digging the Carolina Fit home. Yes, sir. We don't play till Monday, but it's college. The first Saturday, big time Saturday of college football. I forgot to mention. That's why like I said, I wanted to move the show back, but I didn't want to move the show too far back because I know all my football fans are getting ready for to watch the games here in a little while. Got a big time game happening at noon. That I know a lot of people are going to be checking out that Ohio State and Texas game. So, but yeah, definitely got to represent for my Tar Heels. We're taking on TCU on Monday, so that's going to be what I'm going to be watching. But a lot of great games on college football wise going on today. Continue to move on down the list. That East Blaine and West Blaine game. It said battle for the victory bell, Bladen County rivalry game. Pretty much what the way I would pretty much expected it. East Blaine pretty much looked like they controlled that game from start to finish. Walking away with the victory bell again. West Brunswick and Whiteville. I think both me and Anthony had picked Whiteville, but hey, shout out to West Brunswick saying, hey, this not definitely showing it's not last year. Coming away with a pretty solid victory, 38-21. Another one that was I know Anthony got this one right, but I got this one wrong. Acock falling to Eastern Wayne. And CB Acock had got the best of them the last couple times, so that's a big time win for Eastern Wayne. Stopping that losing streak to CB Acock. Trask getting around. I talked about Trask on the Wednesday show about this is a perfect week. They had a perfect week, a perfect opponent to kind of iron some things out and get some things together. And they say went down to the swamp and handled business 37 to 0. One of the young men that we spotlighted during the summer, the defensive back number 14. And I have to pull up his name real quick. Had two interceptions, had a really good game. But I think his name Demont. Let me pull it up, so I don't want to say the wrong name. But I had two interceptions, so that's a good game for him. And like I said, a good get right game for Trask going down there to the swamp and coming away with the victory. 1 second, I'll pull up his name. But yes, don't forget, man, to hit the comments up, hit the chat up, in the comments. Shout out your teams, your players, if you're a parent. Uh, Demet Moore, number 14 for Trash, big time game. Yeah, I'm shocked too, Zach. That was like I said, that was a big time. That was a solid win for them last night. I'm gonna talk about that game in a little bit here. Oh yeah, actually that's my next game up. Yeah, Midway coming away with that 55-39 victory over Clinton. Second year in a row, Midway's got the best of Clinton. Um, well, I'll start with Clinton, and I'm not going to critique them too much, criticize them too much because people get a little sensitive when I do that. So I'm not going to go too hard. I will say this: I was pretty impressed with. I think Clinton's offense was solid. They're going to be okay. You saw the talent that Miles McCaleb has. Definitely, I definitely understand why people were up. Saying, "Hey, wait, we're missing the quarterback." And he definitely showed his. He definitely showed his talent last night. Um, I mean, he can spin. Man. He's a quarterback, man. He can spin it, man. Definitely understand why definitely that was my first time really getting to see him play in live action this season. I didn't get to see the scrimmage against Grays Creek, but yeah, the kid he can spin it, man. He definitely can spin it. Has a awesome arm. Um, like I said, if he gets time and he can set his feet, they're gonna do some damage with him, man. Big time game, Jonah Boone. Jonah Boone, we talked about him in the past, man. He's a playmaker. He's a kid that you just want to give him the ball in space and let him make plays, and he made a couple big plays for Clinton last night. I will say this: my one critique was I feel like we fell in love. Clinton fell in love with the deep ball a little bit too much later in the game. I feel like we could have worked a little bit more the intermediate passing game. I mean, take what you can get, man. I understand we're down and we're trying to make big plays, big splash plays, but I mean, like I just talked about, man. You get the ball to Jonah Boone, and he could take a. I mean, he showed it last night. Take a little 5 to 10 yard play, pass play. He can make a guy miss and get to the outside, and he can make a big play. So I just felt like we kind of just fell in love too much with the deep ball later in the game. We should have been maybe looking for more of the 10 to 15 yard intermediate passes just to keep the ball moving. Because I mean, like I said, there were a couple misses there. A couple would could have been big play, could have been touchdown. But like I said, when the ball hits you in the hands as a wide receiver, man, you got to catch that, man. You got to catch that. Got to catch that or that's some up downs or some push ups at practice. I know that's one of the things he always did. It didn't matter how good or bad the pass was, it hit you in the hands. And they got that on film. You doing something on practice at practice on Monday. But the biggest issue for Clinton last night was the defense and some special teams mistakes, man. You gave up the opening kickoff, let an opening kickoff get ran back for a touchdown. That was a big mistake there. Defensively, like I said, they were missing Jaden. Jaden Williams didn't play last night, but and I know he normally, having 15 back there right there in middle linebacker cleans up a lot of mistakes, but um, I'm not going to dog Clinton's defense as much as I think we should be giving credit to Midway's offense, and particularly their offensive line. Their line pretty much controlled the game, most of the majority of the game. Um, was able to basically they won the line of scrimmage, and once you get your offensive line there, is able to get to the second level. That's going to be big play after big play, and uh, Midway has two tremendous running backs, Wesley number two, and number eight, Giamatti Blue, two kids that we spotlighted over the summer, talked about before. Had both of them had huge games, but yeah, like I said, Clint was pretty bad defensively, but like I said, a lot you got to give credit to Midway for that. It just definitely like I said, we talk about what wins football games in this area. These games are won in the trenches, and Midway they controlled the trenches last night. But back to the special teams mistakes. There was another one. This was the turning point in the game for me. Similar to the Richmond County Scotland game, you saw an instance where a team was able to score 2 touchdowns in a matter of what 10 to 14 seconds game time. Right there before halftime is Midway goes down, scores a touchdown, a tight end pass down the seam, Tanner Williams to Jacob Holland, big place. Go up 26-20. Squib kick to Clinton the next play. Clinton's unable to recover the squib kick. Midway recovers. The very next play, and I swear to God, it looked like the same exact, play, tight end down the seam, touchdown. So all of a sudden, you went from being down, 26-20. Hopefully, maybe going into the locker room, at worst trailing 6 points to now, boom, you're staring a 14-point deficit in the face, and that was, I think, one of the biggest, like the breaking point as far as that game was. Because at first I thought, well, okay, we're about to have Clint came back. It was 2020. I said, okay, we're about to have we about to have a shootout, man. And after that, it kind of just kind of got out of hand real quick. And like I said, Clinton still had their chances in the second half. Another big, like I said, breaking point. Once again, special teams. They did get a stop. Midway was punting. Um, wasn't the best punt, but unfortunately, Clinton got, I think it was an illegal substitution penalty, which led Midway to, wasn't the way they was running the ball, led Midway, to roll the dice and go for it. And they were able to get the first down, and a couple plays later, another long touchdown run. That was a big breaking point. And then also, Clinton attempted an onside kick and had, as far as high school football goes, a pretty good looking onside kick. It just, we overran the ball. I guess would be the term for it. But yeah, just like I said, you can't, just some the special teams things that went our way the week before didn't go our way last night, and I think that was a big difference. And like I said, just Midway's ability to control the offensive line. Um, yeah, that's pretty much what I believe won them the game. But yeah, like I said, like I said, I'm not gonna be too critical of Clan. Like I said, they offensively, I think we'll be fine. We may be looking like it looked like one of those Pac-12 games last night. Just a lot of points scored. I don't think either team defensive coordinator will be happy with the effort. Clinton, of course, giving up 55 points, and even Midway, even though they come away with the win, giving up 39 points. You don't want to get into the habit of games like that. So, any comments? Yeah, I'm actually, like I said, I'm actually shocked there aren't more aren't more Midway folks in the comments here. But so for the second year in a row, Midway takes that rivalry game. Moving on, 71st got a bounce back victory. Tough loss last week to Terry Sanford. They bounced back, beat Cape Fair, good Cape Fair team, 22-8. That's a solid victory for 71st. A good bounce back. I haven't read up on the stats of that game yet, but I'm sure the usual suspects were handling business. That one, South Granville, really taking it to Vance County in that one. 33-6. That's a good win for South Granville. Southeast Raleigh went into win the Greensboro and come away for a victory over Dudley. From what I'm hearing, this is a kind of a down year for Dudley, but still, Southeast Raleigh starting to kind of turn some heads, man. I know that was a team that I had as a honorable mention, right there on the outside looking in type team. They're gonna be solid, but that's a really tough conference they're playing, and they're in the same in that same conference with Cleveland and Clayton. But keep your eye on Southeast Raleigh, man. Hoggard and Jack Britt. I guess we questioned a little bit. I think me and Anthony were questioning a little bit about Jack Britt, how they would match up with Hoggard, and if the final score is any indication, Jack Britt's a pretty solid team as well out there in Fayetteville. So definitely keep an eye on with them. Hoggard coming off that big victory last week over Richmond County. Looks like another offensive showcase there in that game. Over 80 points scored combined, but of course Hoggard squeaking out the victory. So another solid win for them. We talked about the Marlboro County Chippewa game. Warren County, that battle of I-85, really took it to JF Webb, winning 54-24. And I know my guys at Grit and Grind were all over that one last night, so I definitely got to go back and check out their comments on that one. But solid win for Warren County. And of course, Lakewood, another team, just like we talked about with Trash. Lakewood had the perfect opportunity, a perfect get right type game for Lakewood head to Camp Lejeune and coming away with a 40-0 win. Like I said, from what we saw in the Jamboree, we knew Lejeune was going to be pretty down this year. And like I said, it's a perfect week to work on work on some things if you're Lakewood and clean some things up. And it looked like they had a good effort last week. So a good effort last night. So shout out to them. Saw a couple clips and yeah, definitely a good bounce back. Good bounce back. Good get that W under your belt. You see Jasmine Owens in the comments saying good Lakewood. Yeah, that's a solid win for them. So they're taking on Midway next week, so that's going to be another Shasta County rivalry game. It's going to be a tough one for them. But like I said, that Midway team's tough. They're big, especially on the lines, and just they got a solid all around team. But so that's going to be a good one. But we'll talk more about that Wednesday. Of course, we had the Thursday night games. Triton and North Duplin. Pretty much spoke on those already, but that's pretty much all my recap for this week. Let's say once again another great slate of games. Gotta go through and look at our quick picks again. I got a couple. I know I got some wrong last night. Of course, I missed on the Clinton Midway. I missed on the Eastern Wayne CBA cock. I know I missed on I think I got Vance County wrong. I got the Whiteville game wrong. So it wasn't pretty this week. I think Anthony got the edge on me again this week. So shout out to him, man. But any more comments before I close things out here? Anybody anything to say about the games last night? If not, once again, man, appreciate everyone taking the time to join me this morning, man. Hopefully, everyone has a great Labor Day weekend. If you're a football fan, uh, this is gonna be a good weekend, man. A lot of great college football games. So today, tomorrow, and Monday, of course. Shout out to my Tar Heels. Bill Belichick's coaching debut. Play a little drinking game. We're gonna take a shot every time one of the commentators mentions something about Bill Belichick and his girlfriend. But once again, before I ain't go, well, let me read these comments before I close out. Laura Anthony Matthews said Jonah Boo has to get his own package. Got to find ways to get the ball in his hands. Yes, ma'am. I would think of every type of way possible to get the ball in that young man's hands and get him into space and just let him go to work because he's lightning in a bottle, man. And like you said, for the old school people, you know what a phone booth is. I know a lot of these young cats don't like what the hell is a phone booth. Jonah Boone could dodge a tackle in the phone booth. If you ever been inside a phone booth, you get what I'm saying. But Sean Bryant Moore said Richmond looked real good last night. Yes, sir. I gotta look at some more highlights and stuff, but I'll be dropping my players of the game for that one coming soon. So shout out to Richmond. Richmond got another big one this coming up week. They'll be taking on Roseville this coming Friday. So that's gonna be another big time matchup, man. Hey, look, shout out to these coaches and these ads who going all out in these Richmond's schedule, non-conference schedule has to be one of the best in the state. You start the year off with Hoggard, Scotland County, and now you're playing Roseville. Yeah, they're definitely going to be well prepared and well seasoned when it comes to conference play in the playoffs. So shout out to Richmond, and of course shout out to our guy Ryan Sutherland out there at East Duplin. Big win for them last night. East Duplin take down Princeton. Oh, man, before I close that, I got to go back and look at some stuff from that game. But man, closer than I expected at halftime. I saw the halftime score. That kind of shook me a little bit. I was like, okay, but of course, East Duplin looked like they got together in the second half, and another solid win for them. They'll be taking on Richlands. Richlands is coming up week, so we'll be talking about that Wednesday. But appreciate Ryan for checking in with us, man. But if we don't got any more comments, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off, man. Y'all get ready to enjoy some college football and enjoy the rest of y'all Labor Day weekend. Appreciate everyone who joined us this morning. Shout out to AB for coming on talking about Marlboro County. Shout out to Anthony Goodman. Couldn't join us this morning, but I know he's happy. He's beating me in these picks right now. So we'll talk more about that Wednesday. But appreciate everyone listening in. Chris Harris signing off. Y'all have a great day.